7.2 million. 586,000 square miles. 2 cents an acre. In today's money, that's less than the price of one Manhattan apartment, for an entire US state. So why did Russia really sell it? The answer isn't what your textbooks told you. The year is 1867. The place, a frozen, wind-battered stretch of land on the edge of the known world. Russia calls it Alaska. Most of the empire has never even seen it. For over 100 years, Russian traders had pushed into this land, chasing one thing: fur. Sea otters. Seals. Soft, valuable pelts that fetched a fortune in the markets of Europe. Small settlements rose along the coast. Wooden forts. Trading posts. A handful of families, thousands of miles from home, trying to survive in one of the harshest climates on Earth. But by the 1860s, something had changed. Russia was not the confident empire it once was. A few years earlier, in the Crimean War, Russia had been humiliated by Britain and its allies. The empire's treasury was empty. Its navy was weak. And its most powerful rival, the British, already controlled the neighboring territory, what we now call British Columbia. Here was the fear that kept Russian officials awake at night: if war broke out again with Britain, there was no way to defend Alaska. It was too far. Too isolated. Too undefended. The British could simply walk in and take it. For free. So Russia's ruler, Tsar Alexander II, made a decision that surprised almost everyone. Rather than lose Alaska in a war, he would sell it. On his own terms. That's not the end. Russia's first choice wasn't America. It was Britain. If the British bought the land, the thinking went, there would be nothing left to fight over. But the British Prime Minister at the time, Lord Palmerston, wasn't interested in paying for something he believed could simply be taken by force. He said no. So the offer crossed the Atlantic to Washington. And there, it sat. The United States, in the late 1850s, had a much bigger fire to put out. A war was coming, not with a foreign empire, but with itself. The Civil War was about to tear the country apart, and nobody in Washington had the appetite, or the treasury, to think about a frozen wilderness on the other side of a continent. For years, the offer went nowhere. Then came 1865. The Civil War ended. The Union held. And slowly, Washington began looking outward again. Russia sent its ambassador back to the negotiating table, and this time, someone in Washington was listening closely: Secretary of State William H. Seward. Seward believed in something most of his countrymen didn't yet see, that America's future stretched across oceans, not just across a continent. He looked north, toward Alaska, and he saw more than ice. He saw ports. He saw resources. He saw a chance to weaken two rival empires, Britain and Russia, in one single move. On the night of March 29, 1867, word reached Seward that Russia was ready to finalize the deal. He didn't wait for morning. He gathered his negotiating team that very evening, and through the entire night, in candlelit rooms, the two sides argued, calculated, and compromised. By 4 o'clock in the morning, on March 30, 1867, it was done. The United States would pay $7.2 million for Alaska. Roughly 2 cents an acre. Adjusted for today's value, that number would still look astonishingly small for a landmass larger than Texas, California, and Montana combined. When the news broke, America did not celebrate. Newspapers mocked the purchase. Critics called it Seward's icebox. They called it Wall Russia. They called it, most famously, Seward's Folly, a foolish waste of money on a frozen wasteland nobody wanted. And in October of that year, in the small town of Sitka, a ceremony took place that captured the strange, quiet weight of that moment. Russian and American soldiers stood together in formation. Cannons fired in salute. And slowly, deliberately, the Russian imperial flag came down for the last time. In its place, the American flag rose over Alaska. A Russian captain turned to the American general standing beside him and spoke the words that closed nearly a century of Russian rule. By order of His Majesty, the Emperor of Russia, the territory of Alaska now belonged to the United States. It was official. But almost nobody in America believed they had gotten a good deal. For the next few decades, that mockery slowly died down, because Alaska began to reveal what it had been hiding all along. First came the fur and fish, generating steady income for a land people once dismissed as worthless. Then, in the late 1890s, came the words that changed everything: gold, discovered near Juneau, and later along the Klondike. Tens of thousands of hopeful settlers rushed north, chasing fortune in one of the largest gold rushes in American history. Decades later, Alaska proved its worth again, this time not in gold, but in geography. During the Second World War, its closeness to Japan and Russia made it one of the most strategically vital pieces of land the United States owned. It became a shield, a launching point, a lifeline for supplies flowing to allies fighting overseas. And then, in 1968, the final proof arrived, deep beneath the frozen ground at Prudhoe Bay. Oil. An enormous reserve, one of the largest ever discovered in North America. What began as a mocked, icy afterthought had become one of the most valuable pieces of land the United States ever acquired. Seward's Folly, it turned out, was one of the smartest purchases in American history. Today, Alaska stands as the largest state in America, a land of gold, oil, wilderness, and quiet strength. A reminder that sometimes, the biggest opportunities come disguised as the biggest gambles. Because 2 cents an acre turned out to be the deal of the century. If stories like this one, stories of empires, gambles, and the hidden turns of history, pull you in, this is exactly the kind of journey we tell here on Western Info. Stay with us. There are far more forgotten decisions out there that quietly built the modern world. Subscribe, and let's uncover the next one together.